It's a lantern, okay? Probably don't light your house with one of these, but some people have these still in their home, and they have it, well, somehow under the expectations that the power's going to go out, and flashlights aren't going to quite deal with it, so maybe have a lantern handy. So this is like a backup for having lights in your house. And the way this works is there's a wick in here, a piece of cloth that comes up, and you put oil in here. So I'm all ready for when the lights go out, but not really. See, the problem with this is there's no oil in it, and it's a little rusty, so the wick doesn't come up. I can't show it to you because I can't turn the little thing that makes it come up. So I am not prepared for the power to go out with this, okay, with this lantern. So that's a problem, right? We want to be prepared for things. If you join the Boy Scouts later on, their motto is always be prepared, right? And as Christians, we always want to be prepared to live our faith. So I'm going to read a Bible passage to you. You ever been to a wedding? You ever seen somebody got married? Yes, no, maybe. Not sure? No. Well, sometime over the next year or two or three, somebody in your family somewhere would get married, and you'll go and you'll see. There's a lot of ceremony that goes on, a lot of tradition. Sometimes you don't understand all of it. So that's what's going on here. We might not understand exactly what's happening, but there's this wedding, and I'm going to read from Matthew 25. Here is what the kingdom of heaven is like. So Jesus is telling a parable. He's not saying this actually happened, but he's saying, what I'm going to tell you is like the kingdom of heaven. Okay? 10 bridesmaids took their lamps. Didn't quite look like this, but they were lamps that took oil, and went out to meet the groom. 5 of them were foolish. 5 were wise. Remember we talked about the owl being wise? Well, being wise is like being prepared for something, knowing something's going to happen, or taking your life experience and knowledge and using it wisely. Well, some of these ladies were wise, and some were foolish. The foolish ones took their lamps, but didn't take any extra oil with them. The wise ones took oil in jars along with their lamps. So if you put oil in here, it only lasts so long. We're not sure how long. Probably in this one, probably lasts quite a while, probably a day or two. But back then, they just had little lamps, and they were good for the evening, then you had to put more oil in them. The wise ones took oil in jars along with the lamps. The groom did not come for a long time. So the bridesmaids all grew tired and fell asleep. So all of them fell asleep, waiting. They're waiting. They had the lamps ready, but they were waiting. At midnight, someone cried out, "Here's the groom! Come out to meet him!" Then all the bridesmaids woke up, got their lamps ready. The foolish one said to the wise ones, "Give us some of your oil. Our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for all of us. Instead, go to those who sell oil, buy some for yourselves." So they went out to buy the oil, but while they were on their way, the groom arrived. The bridesmaids who were ready went in with him to the wedding dinner. Then the door was shut. Later, the other bridesmaids also came. "Sir, they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "What am I about to tell you is true. I don't know you. So keep watch. You do not know the day or the hour that the groom will come." So why is this a parable? The groom is the man who's getting married, okay, in the parable. And he is a special person for the occasion, okay? So it's a parable because the groom represents Jesus Christ. And we're all waiting for him. We're waiting for him to come back, and as Christians, for him to claim us as his church. And so we can be ready, or we can be not ready. The foolish bridesmaids didn't have enough oil. They thought, well, sometime he's going to come, but they didn't know when. And neither did the wise ones, but the wise ones were prepared no matter when he came. So we as Christians need to live our lives as if Christ would come any day, tomorrow, or the day after. Not maybe sometime. So that's the lesson, is being prepared. So by having this around, I can look at this and say, oh, that's me when I'm not prepared. No oil, no wick, it's rusty. So I need to be reminded, oh, I need to be ready when Christ comes. I need to live my life differently. Does that make sense? Some of it, maybe when you go to a wedding, you'll be able to say, oh, I get some of that. Weddings where two people get married, right? You did know that, right? Yeah. I'm getting smiles. Carter's in a smiling, grinning, looking mood this morning. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you for Carter, and I thank you for his willingness. Sometimes when he's the only kid here at church, he still comes forward, and he pays attention, and he listens, and he learns. And I pray that these things that you are teaching all of us, that he will remember later on, and that you would guide him and watch over him. So we thank you for this lesson in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, kiddo, you can go back.